Welcome back to another video. So today I want to just go and talk about a bit of a sort of how I'm sort of reevaluating my portfolio for this cycle, for this bull run coming, right? And I've just been thinking, I've had some time to think about what is actually the best approach to make the most money from this. And I think I might be able to give some sort of, I can't say the word advice, can I? What's another word for advice? Tips. I'll use that. Yeah, so what I'm sort of thinking is, and what you probably should be sort of thinking as well, is where is this narrative? What is the narrative? And because what is that narrative? Where are new investors, retail, coming soon, going to park their funds? For me, of course, it's Bitcoin, but I'm not involved heavily in Bitcoin at all. I'm more in Solana, heavily into Solana. My largest bag is Solana. But I've reevaluated sort of where I'm going with what the narrative is, which we know, which is Solana, following basically the money, following what the structure is, what the narrative is. And I'm saying the same thing, but I'm trying to pinpoint sort of where this is probably going to end up. And of course, let's get it out the way. Bitcoin, of course, and Solana and Ethereum are the three. We all know that. With the Ethereum, with Bitcoin, that's obviously, we're going to have our altcoin season eventually, right? But with that, we're going to see Bitcoin probably run until Bitcoin dominance goes to about 60%. Then we're probably going to have a sell-off, and then we may have altcoins pump and rally. So in terms of Ethereum, that's going to do very well based on the ETFs, and because it will run, of course, in the bull run, but because of the inflows in the ETF, that will do very well as well. I'm not in Ethereum. I am instead in Pepe, which is the main meme coin on Ethereum. And when you think about it, if you've watched my videos before, you know that I sort of do categories in terms of cryptos. So I have my, of course, beast, which is Solana, and I have my meme coins, I have my AI plays, and I have my gaming plays, right? I've talked about in the past, but I've reevaluated and reanalyzed what's probably going to be the best path forward, and not to dilute my funds into too many. That's where I'm leading to now. So what I've changed is I've changed where I'm putting the funds, and I'm shrinking the tokens. So instead of having, say, 7 or 8 or 10 different cryptos, I'm instead removing some of those, putting those funds of those tokens that I've sold into the ones that I'm really going for, right? So the 4 that I'm going for are Solana, Avalanche, Pepe, and Nosana. Those two, the top 2, those are what's going to drive sort of the most promised outcome, you could say, because they're the most solid projects, Solana and Avalanche. Well, on my list, I mean, they're my 2 sort of bull run safer plays, you could say. And then Pepe would be my meme coin. And the reason I'm choosing Pepe over Bonk or Whiff or whatever, Doge, Sheeb, is because the previous bull run, you had Sheeb and Doge, right? Now, when people come into this bull run, and they, retail comes in, new investment, new money comes into this, and they see meme coins. They already know about what meme coins probably are, but they're just not involved in crypto, So what do you think is likely to happen? So my thinking is this: Ethereum, with the ETFs and the bull run combined, is going to go very high. I know it's not performing very well this last week, and everyone's talking about the Sol ETH chart. I've seen that about, I don't know why, but I've seen that about 7 times in the space of the last 3 days. Different people talking about it, which is, of course, it's very, very relevant. and it shows that Solana is completely taking over, and Ethereum is, the shift is probably happening. But with these ETFs and the bull run, it's going to go up, right? That's a given. It's obvious. But where I'm going with that is that Pepe is on Ethereum. And with these people that are coming in, the most memeable meme, the most famous meme is Pepe the Frog. Everyone, you see him everywhere. You see variants of him. You see him on my channel all the time. You see him just everywhere, even before the meme coin came out. It's one of the most famous. It's probably the most famous meme. It just is. When people come into the bull run, the average Joe investor, the newbie, what do you think they're going to buy when they see memes? They're not necessarily going to buy a dog. In my sort of opinion, they're going to lean towards what they are more. Of course, everyone knows about Doge and Sheep, right? Even though newbies coming in, they probably have, in their peripheral vision, hearing, they know about it. But they're going to probably lean towards Pepe, because Pepe is in every sort of corner of the internet. Every single corner of the internet. So that is my thinking. And that is why I'm using Pepe as my meme coin. And I'm going to be pumping, because Ethereum's going to be pumping, that's going to coincide with it correlating. Of course, it's going to run together because it's on Ethereum. So that's going to go up, I believe, massively. Now, that's my meme coin play. Avalanche, I am pretty bullish on because it's come down so much. And I think the all-time high, go have a look. This is going on a week. So this is the Binance chart. All-time high was 147, and it's at 21 right now. All right. And the March run, it went up to 60. So we're going to see it probably surpass its all-time high. And I've got a chunky bag in this now, because I've moved from others into the more solider plays. And yes, you could argue you're going to get more of a return on these ones, but that's why I'm putting that into Pepe and Asana as well. And Asana is, for those who don't know, it is a deep in AI narrative. Crypto users can share their GPU compute power, and you get rewarded for it. You get rewards for it. And they are also partnered with Render. They partnered with Render in February this year, and it's going to have a big run, I think, because Asana is market cap's 146 million at the moment. Its all-time high was nearly $8, so that's going to go even higher as well. That's my sort of risky play, you could say, because of the low market cap. That's more of the gamble. Yes, even more of a gamble than Pepe, because of it's not well known at the moment, even though it's gaining recognition and more appreciation in the space because of its AI. Those are my four, and I have some smaller ones that I still have, but more or less the majority of my funds are in this four. So Solana, the heaviest bag, Avalanche, Pepe, and Asana. Those are the four I'm really going for. And of course, the way I'm building my bag on that is with no higher than 3x leverage trading, because trying to use funds from the human world and then depositing that into crypto, I want to do that less and less now, because if I can just amplify my gains and compound my gains through trading, leverage trading, have some funds on the side for that, then I can then push more funds, have some USDT on the side, and then DCA into these four, well, primarily the lower ones, because I've got pretty heavy bags in these two at the moment, primarily Solana for sure. So the reason I'm bullish on Avalanche, I don't know if I mentioned it, because there's a lot of gaming things going on right now. They got off the grid, which is an actual AAA game, because it's being released on the PS5 and Xbox. I believe this weekend it's actually coming out. But that's an actual video game, and there's NFTs on there, and that's using Avalanche as its network. So, well, that's good. And yeah, there's prospects of Netflix, Konami at the end of the year as well. So Avalanche is pretty much a sleeping giant, in my opinion, with how low it is and the potential. So that's why I'm buying into it when it's low, because I do believe that we're going to hear some big news coming from Avalanche coming out, and then everyone's going to buy it because it's at its price, and then eventually it will just start to run. That's my thesis behind that. I do believe Bitcoin's going to run until January, and then I believe the Bitcoin dominance will probably go up to probably around 60. I reckon it's going to reject at 60, and then people will start flowing into alts more so, and taking profits, of course. And I was looking at the USDT dominance chart, and that's coming down a bit now, so that's good. Lots of people investing into cryptos and not just holding stables, so that's a positive sign. So yeah, the final point I want to just go over is last cycle, you didn't have your pump.fun, you didn't have all these meme coins coming out, you didn't have so many altcoins, so many projects. You didn't have that last time. This time they're in thousands to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of different altcoins, thousands of projects. So all the funds are really diluted. They are really diluted, and there's been a lot of rugs. The point I'm getting at is you really want to just go with the stronger alts, the stronger layer ones, you could say, because that's where the money is going into. Whereas if you go down to, say, an older project, and a project you're in that's not pumping, for example, the funds, no one's going to come to it because they want to go into what's current, and what's current is going into solid projects. So they're not going to really, like new money I'm talking about. Don't expect your project that you're in to pump because in the bull run, because the liquidity is not going to go there. It's not going to go there. It's going to go to memes, and it's going to go to solid projects like Solana or Avalanche or Cardano or whatever, or of course Bitcoin, Ethereum. It's going to do that. It's going to go into there. And I do think still that all memes, all solid memes like Bonk, Whiff, Pepe, they're going to pump, because memes this time are the narrative. We all know that. There's no going around it. So if you want to make the most of this, you need to, it's very just obvious that that's what you should be doing. Even if you're not a fan of doing memes, you put a brick wall there in your mind because you are such a believer that projects and utility should dominate this space. Whilst I agree, if you want to make money this bull run, you need to put some money into memes. It's just a given, and you're missing an opportunity if you don't. And then you can come back to that sort of way of thinking after the bull run, right? Then you can start to think about using those profits into, because that's just the way it is. That's just how it's going to play out, in my opinion. That's just what it seems to be happening. It's pretty obvious. So yeah, pretty a talky one today, but wanted to just lay out where I'm coming from with where I'm sort of allocating my funds now, really shrinking the allocation and not diluting my funds too much and stretching them too thin, rather really putting them into solid projects and one solid meme that I think is going to do well for the reasons I've said, which is Ethereum ETF, and the fact that it's going to be probably the most popular meme, especially with new money coming in. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I hope you've taken something from this. Maybe woke you up a bit, because there are so many dead projects right now that people are hoping for a pump, using leverage trading no higher than 3x on Solana and Bitcoin to amplify my allocation of USDT and DCAing into these projects. So yeah, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed taking something from it. Please like if you got something from it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.